Despite this controversy, and an endless amount of other controversies over the years, the Carlyle Group has remained unscathed due to having a who's who of men in high places on their payroll. This doesn't include the fact that the Carlyle Group's Booz Allen Hamilton is gorged with thousands of former NSA agents. But the Carlyle Group owns another company that has been in the news lately, or rather is behind the news. One of the oddities of the missing Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 is that of the 239 passengers aboard, a staggering 20 passengers worked for Freescale Semiconductor, which, you guessed it, is owned in large part by the Carlyle Group. It has been reported that the Freescale Semiconductor employees were on their way to a conference in China, with the company portrayed as a medium-sized Austin, Texas-based company with a small footprint in the semiconductor industry. In fact, the Carlyle Group and a handful of other mega investors purchased Freescale Semiconductor in 2006 for a staggering $17.6 billion. The media has not only portrayed Freescale Semiconductor as a non-entity, but the Freescale employees on board Flight 370 as low-level workers on their way to a routine conference in China. However, 4 of the employees on Flight 370, according to Austin, Texas-based IntelliHub investigative reporter Shepard Ambella, were high-level engineers that were majority owners of several semiconductor patents shared with Freescale Semiconductor, worth billions. As this patent document shows, obtained by IntelliHub, the 4 engineers each had a 20% ownership of the patents, a total of 80% to Freescale Semiconductor's 20%. That shockingly, the patent was filed on March 11, 2014, 4 days after the plane disappeared. And now that the patent owners are dead, full ownership of the patents will revert to Freescale Semiconductor into the pockets of the Carlyle Group. Edward Snowden revealed that he could wiretap anyone in the world from his Hawaiian outpost at Booz Allen Hamilton, that he and the thousands of other NSA contractors worldwide had access to the whole gamut of the NSA's surveillance apparatus. He could tap into every cell phone, every flight communication worldwide, every spy satellite. Are we to believe the NSA's private surveillance army, run by the Carlyle Group, has no information on Flight 370? Day by day, the story changes. Flight 370 crashed in the South China Sea. 2 Iranians using stolen passports hijacked the plane and flew it to Iran to use it as a weapon against Israel. It was flying extremely low to avoid radar. 1 week ago, the story was that the pilot, Zahari Ahmad Shah, was a political zealot flying to meet up with the Taliban in Afghanistan. Now the story is that the plane is at the bottom of the Indian Ocean off the coast of Australia, in which the crazed pilot was out of his mind because of a torrid love affair, that he flew the plane for 7 hours in the opposite direction of the intended route, detected by no one, including the nearby U.S. naval base on Diego Garcia, in order to kill himself and the 239 passengers on board. It's like Lee Harvey Oswald all over again. Instead, this time, it isn't a crazed gunman acting alone, but a crazed pilot. Is this all a conspiracy theory? That the Carlyle Group got rid of a plane in order to reap billions in profits on semiconductor patents? That their tentacles that reach into every aspect of the military-industrial complex, and the media created a fantasy of a crazed pilot dumping his plane into the Indian Ocean? Perhaps. Perhaps not. But we must remember, a few years ago, conspiracy theorist extraordinaire Alex Jones made the wild claim, citing an AT&T engineer and top-secret AT&T documents, that the NSA was archiving every single phone call of every single American. Who's the conspiracy theorist now?
Guys, this is Dabu7, and I present to you some of the most explosive information to date on Flight 370. You're looking at an exact twin of Flight 370, besides the serial number. Now, there's a limited number of these planes in the world, a limited number that are active and flying, and an even less amount that have been damaged or taken out of commission and that are inactive, and very few that are still active but being stored and not being used. Now, I went looking deep into anyone that could have a connection to another plane like Flight 370 that has disappeared. So even if it did go down in the ocean, but they can never find it, I went looking to see, can anyone out there have their hands on a twin? Well, sure enough, I find the exact plane that you just seen in that photo, the exact plane, is owned by this company that purchased it from Malaysia Airlines and has stored it on October 21st, 2013. This was the previous number on it for registration, and this was the new one, this Boeing 777. Now, when we go to planespotters.net to find this matching construction number, which you can't see, it's off screen here, 416. You will see that this 416 is 15 years old and it is being stored. You can also see here that there are multiple photos of this craft down here that were taken by plane spotters, and these guys thank God for these people, because their work has come in crucial at this point. What they've caught and stored. Now, tracking all this, we see that this was delivered, not stored, but delivered on October 21st. And when we go to find out where this airplane its final destination was, we find out that it was sent to LDE, and on November 4th, 2013, this plane landed and disappeared and has never been seen since inside of Tel Aviv, Israel. All we have to do is go over here to Plane Blogger, find the registration, 105 GT, 105 GT, as you can see right here, match it up, identical. And you can see in the comments that this thing was forwarded from right here to Tel Aviv. November 4th, 2013. So, what I will break down in following videos is exactly who this is, who owns this, who's connected, and yes, this is connected to George Soros, Israel, through and through. This is deep, and I'm telling you, this is a silver bullet. This is the information they do not want you to know. Israel surely does not want the world to know that right now in Tel Aviv, in a hangar, they have this exact plane that you see right here. It is true, folks, and I just proved it to you. This plane's final destination, this active plane, functioning plane, was Israel, and it has never been seen since. It is in a hangar somewhere in Tel Aviv. All the proof is here. I will leave links, and I will be busting down more information on this whole connection to Israel in an upcoming video. And hey, if my channel disappears and all my videos and everything's gone, I hope somebody saved this video is all I gotta say. Comments will be opened on the main channel's video update on this. Peace, y'all. It's been Dabu7.